Slime and B by Chris Brown and Young Thug. Who would have known these two would ever make an album together? The quarantine has brought Chris Brown and Young Thug together for a joint project. Young Thug bragged that all his verses were done in one day. How is it? Do the two make it work? Here's our honest review of Slime and B by Chris Brown and Young Thug.
All right, man. Slime and B. Young Thug said it only took him a day to come up with all the raps to this album, man.
You lying?
No. That's what he said.
You serious right now?
No, that's what he said. I'm just telling you what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, man. How you feel about this album artwork?
It's cool. I like the art style, the characters, and everything like that. Really nothing too crazy or dramatic, but it's a fun art style.
Yeah, man. It's just like you got Chris Brown. He got the fire coming out of his hands. It looked like Chris Brown drew this. All right. You got you got the dragon / snake kind of there. But why do they get Young Thug using activists as if it's a power? Anyway, the flow of this project, man. The flow of this project it sounds like a joint project between Chris Brown and Young Thug. Some songs sound Young Thuggish, some songs sound Chris Brownish, but I can tell you one thing: one of them comes in and fucks the track up every time they get the opportunity to.
Yeah, it's definitely a collaboration between two people. That's as much as I have to say.
Highlights, man. There's a lot of Chris Brown highlights on here. I especially like towards the end of the album where I almost forgot that Young Thug was part of this this album anymore, because I was just like, man, it was a good 2-3 songs back to back where it was just Chris Brown and no Young Thug, and it sounded really good. But aside from that, there was some cool vibes. But I do want to say I felt like they missed the mark on a lot of things. There's definitely, to me, more lowlights than highlights. As far as songs go, I'd pick songs like Undrunk by Chris Brown, No Such Thing by Chris Brown. And there's one of these songs up here that I don't even remember the name that had both of them on it that I thought sounded cool. But that's the least of this album's problems.
Yeah, I thought Go Crazy was kind of cool. And I Ain't Trying was really dope.
Low lights, man. Almost every time Young Thug opened his mouth. First of all, I'm already docking the album a grade because you can't be promoting drugs on the project. No, don't be promoting activists. Second reason why I'm docking this project is I just feel like it came out at the wrong time. People are stuck in the house. Ain't nobody around here having no damn orgies and drinking no partying, and just the fact that I just feel like when they put this together, they were just insensitive to the way the world is right now. They just wanted to stunt on everybody. That's just the way it felt. I was just like, this is how y'all doing right now? You got them taking all these tests. I hope y'all got them taking a COVID-19 test too. You know what I'm saying? The vibe I got from this project was pure insensitivity, braggadocious nonsense that I'm actually honestly getting very, very tired of hearing at this point in music. I don't care how much money you got. What are you doing to help people and educate people? Because Young Thug talks about nothing all the time. Absolutely nothing. He has nothing good to add to the conversation of anything. And I refuse to call him sex. I was so annoyed when I heard him dropping the sex ad-libs throughout the songs. I don't know if you heard him. You might have blocked him out. But, and by the way, The Future That I Hate made another appearance on this project as well. So go ahead. You can call me a hater in the comments. I know it's coming, but that's what this project deserves, in my opinion. Oh, and Gunner, what the hell is he doing on this project? That dude. Oh my God, we need to get that guy a dictionary.
I was gonna talk about that. Listen, you put together somebody like Chris Brown, who has a very keen sense of melody and very keen sense of hits. It's going to be a banger. Okay, we get it. You add Chris Brown to the package, it's going to be good. But when you take somebody like Young Thug and add it with him, it's only going to work for a certain crowd. And I don't think that this one is a winner because it's only for a distinctive certain crowd. And I don't think that it will last long. This was not the time to release this. This will not get any replay at all. I don't care how hot the songs are going to be for the moment. They'll get you on the radio 3 weeks. And after that, everybody go forget about them. What I don't like about this album is just the subject matter is ridiculous. Like, sometimes I caught myself bopping my head to the beat because, you know, the production is pretty dope, pretty hot. And then you get Chris Brown something saying like she's a hickory dickory thought. And it's just like, huh? And you'll get a couple other lines from Young Thug where I can't even quote them right now. There were so many times in this album where I was just like, what did he just say? And then you get a song like Big Slime that has a really dope catchy beat and a really dope catchy melody. But once again, what are y'all talking about? Like,
nothing.
This is the thing I get through this whole album. It's just like, I do not care what y'all talking about. Like, it's just irrelevant. So that's the biggest lowlight on this album to me. It's just a blur of nothingness.
Like outer space. Final thoughts, man. Look, I thought when Young Thug would start the song off and then Chris Brown would come in, I'd just be like, man, oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. And Young Thug would come back in and would always bring the song down for me. This proved to me once again that I'm not a huge fan of Young Thug. I like Slime Season 3. That's it. I think that's all he'll get from me or out of me as far as stuff that I like from him. I think that he adds stuff to songs. Like I love him on Meek Mill's We Ball and what is that? If It Ain't About the Money with T.I. Like there's songs where he's added stuff that actually sounds pretty dope. But at this point, man, I feel like Young Thug has ran his course. He's for a specific group of an audience. And I feel like this is for the same people that stood in line during COVID-19 to get Jordans. They're at the house partying with no money in the bank account. This album is for them. And shout out to y'all. I hope y'all do great and great things. Continue to have your parties while you're drinking your activists, while everybody else is stocking up and saving their money for stuff like food that you may need in a couple months.
Well, you know, I feel like this album is for people who just want to have a good time. And, you know, that's what people are going to say in the comments. You know, this is just stuff to have fun with. I get it. But at the end of the day, think about what you're listening to. I do think Chris Brown is a phenomenal artist. But sometimes I have to think about him, man, because sometimes just the shit that comes out of his mouth, I'm just like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you know, I get it. You're trying to cater to a certain demographic and everything like that. But to me, it brings down his artistry of songs of his catalog to me. So with Young Thug added in the mix, I didn't even care for this pair up, you know. I'm still waiting for the Joyner Lucas to join the album. Where that at, you know? So I really didn't care about this pair up, and I'm not going to hear it again, ever. Never.
Final grade. This is getting an X from me. I would have gave it a dash, but just the references to the drugs and stuff like that. And I feel like the insensitivities of what people are going through in the world right now. I get it. You do need some music to bring you up, but this ain't it. I'll tell you that right now. This is a bunch of bull in a bowl presented to you as fire. The most fire thing about this project is the album artwork. All right. Anytime you have a rapper that's willing to have drugs as his superpower, be gone. I don't care how much millions you got. Nobody wants to hear Young Thug. I'm sorry, especially sex. No, I'm not rocking.
You just called him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear him, his music, nothing.
Most definitely an X from me. This will not get any replay. I will not recommend this to anybody. Chris Brown, I need that Joyner Lucas album. So I'll get to that.